Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Blake Bortles and the reigning AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars take on a man back for a 15th NFL season, Eli Manning and the New York Football Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be commanded by the veteran QB, the former Walter Payton Man of the Year in the league, Eli Manning.
When you look at the numbers that Eli Manning posted in 2017, there's plenty of cause for concern. Lowest yards per completion of his career, fewest yards passing since 2008. His numbers continue to drop in terms of touchdowns and rising in terms of interceptions. But he's one of the fiercest competitors in the league, even if you can't tell it by his demeanor. And no, you don't hear about his workout program like Tom Brady and Drew Brees. But this is a guy that burns to win and wants to get back on the top of the heap.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now Manning on the bootleg. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year may be erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Yet clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off of Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously have to get better. But believe it or not, you know who can really help them there? Their head coach, Pat Shurmur. comes from a defensive family, understands how valuable it is, and loves the toughness and the identity that a good defense can provide.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
Great time to focus on a healthy group of pass catchers. How about Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram? Because health is the key for them. When they're right, they stack up against just about any threesome in the NFL. 2 terrific wide receivers and a tight end that's hard to cover.
And this is going to be incomplete. It was the free safety to Sean Gibson who was able to range over and knock it away.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He spins free. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And the Bills have now opened up a 2-touchdown lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Mark Hertzlick in on the stop. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. 2nd tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 19. Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 more there and another 1st down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being active factors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Throwing now is Bortles. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They give it to him running left. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
I like the comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can...
And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Blake Bortles taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Lambeau on for the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now 14-0. That time a 9-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
I want to highlight Telvin Smith, only the 3rd linebacker in Jacksonville Jaguar history to make a Pro Bowl, but not for that reason. When he came out of Florida State with his build, many were projecting him as a safety in the NFL. Around 215 pounds. He's gotten a little bit bigger, but his ability to run and hit and make plays has made him one of the most valuable linebackers in the NFL. They made the right choice leaving him at that spot.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a handoff. This is Stewart. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods. If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Jags heading out on offense. Well, last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player on the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Finding some room at midfield. Safarian Jenkins has it.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Fournette, a first down carry. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
On second down, here's Fournette. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. From midfield, here's Bortles. He's got the hook up to lead. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. And even 50 receiving yards for him now in this first quarter alone, and also a first down. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
No one ran the ball more than the Jaguars in 2017, and we could very well see another carry here on 3rd and short. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 14-0 is our score. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. A first down carry now for Yeldon. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Bortles going to come up here on 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
380.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2nd and goal from inside the 5.
380.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And now running right through it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
380.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Austin Safarian Jenkins. His first touchdown as a Jacksonville Jaguar. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
And with Austin Safarian Jenkins flashing the form that had people excited about him when he came into the league a few seasons ago, the Jags had to make a move to sign him in the offseason. Remember, they only got 43 catches from all of their tight ends in 2017, so getting an ASJ was an absolute must in the offseason.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 21-0. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now Jonathan Stewart getting set to go as he trots back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throwing is Manning, and that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, and it's third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Play action, Manning. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. This is taken at about the 14. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first. Maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on. And then there will be running lanes to find later.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Green 80. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off William Gay. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the...
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Manning to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the return will stop right around the 25. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Heading back on the field is Jonathan Stewart. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. He dumps it off to Barkley. Heck of a move, but only able to work his way down near the 23. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Manning. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Manning now on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. A good drive gets inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'll be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Now Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Let's go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's Bortles to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now Bortles. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Kareem Martin in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns. Now it's a 21-point game. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Jonathan Stewart now gearing up to go on offense as he takes the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. On play action, it's Manning. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So Manning to Beckham, and this defense, they better hone in on that connection.
It's almost like an electrical charge for him, isn't it? When he catches the first one, I'm talking about OBJ, he just goes to the auto and says more. And really, he's just one of those guys that once he gets going, look out.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing is Manning on third down, and that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And Rosas puts this one through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And here is Blake Bortles as we focus in on him for our player spotlight. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Bortles now on first down. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. Now that play is blown up. Losing yardage back at the 35. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Green 80.
To throw, it's Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Following the sack, third and long for Bortles and the Jags. Fournette on the counter. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. That's taken on the 25. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now.
There goes Sterling Shepard, 20. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play there just before halftime. 58 yards. To throw is Manning. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you've been watching, it was Blake Bortles with a strong first half throwing the football. His guys have the lead as we send you back to MetLife Stadium in Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Green 80.
Now a play fake here on first down. Lee's got it over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Green 80.
Again, it's Yeldon. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. The Jaguars on third down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Bortles. Incomplete over the middle. Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Bortles to the former Jet, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Here's a give to Fournette, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And that, not a sight you want to see. Leonard Fournette very slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Green 80.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And past the 30 down to about the 27. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A gain of 6 there on first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. He was second in the NFL last year with 6 interceptions. This time, not only the interception, but also 6 points.
And it's just so difficult to go get the football in this league because people are so proficient in the passing game. It's not easy at all to read patterns, to break on the football, catch the ball, and take it the other way. Yeah, when you have a guy like that on your team, you feel really good about his efforts.
Lambeau to add on the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. And here we get a look at Stewart down on the ground still. Hope this isn't anything serious. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Manning. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dante Fowler with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Jaguars getting set to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles to throw on second down. Safarian Jenkins has it. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Bortles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Bortles now to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
To throw is Bortles. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The New York set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A handoff to Barkley. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Barry Church, the strong safety, the one to get him down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now Saquon Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. Those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What Big Al was thinking on draft night. Had to be so happy for his son. But they grew up watching Jets games. Just sit together, watch it. In fact, Dad has a Jets tattoo.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you about how much he loves that team. You think Saquon's going to fix that and make it a Giants tattoo?
Yeah, he wants to make that a Giants tattoo. That family, though, they fully converted. They're supporting the G-Men. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Shotgun now for Manning. Over the middle to Beckham. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Manning able to find OBJ there for a Giants first down. Manning now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Manning. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Malik Jackson forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Manning. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, Manning to Barkley on the check down. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Manning, gotta have this one. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Bortles going to give to Yeldon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Delay of game, offense.
Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay.
Still 2nd down.
Let's go, let's go. Set. 380.
After the penalty, it's Yeldon. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough. all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it?
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue able to disrupt yet another pass play, his third sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Operating from the gun. Manning, throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Delay of game, offense.
Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hit 0, 5-yard penalty.
Now, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. From the gun, Manning caught left side. It's Beckham. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Let's not forget, a year ago, this was a last-place team in their division in the National Football League. How quickly the fortunes can turn.
And somewhere, there's a former commissioner smiling down and looking because parity was something he was looking for in this league, and it plays itself out year after year. Last to first is not something that's uncommon in the NFL.
Yeah, a season ago, they didn't have one performance like this, but they put it all together in this ball game. They'll run it again with Yeldon. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. On the stop that time, it's William Gay.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
380.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Hey. You got 380.
Now Bortles will give to Yeldon. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Hey, 4 down. 380.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Right back to him on first down. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Seventh play of the drive upcoming.
To what you said in the beginning, a great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This one from 35 yards away. And Lambeau will put this one through, and their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Operating from the gun, Manning. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. The Giants on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Manning. And Latimer's got it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Manning going to come up on 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From midfield, here's Manning. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
A giant first down, Manning to an open Beckham. Manning now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Manning. Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. And he'll go down at the 28. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Manning looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Lambo on for the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On first down, Manning. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
False start, offense.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. One final try now for Manning. Now a desperation throw. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Jacksonville, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.